Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Anshul and we are currently playing Cyberpunk 2077. Now, I'm 60 hours into this game. The main storyline is done. Most of the side missions, side gigs are done. And man, I'm absolutely blown away by this game. Now, it's not a very new game. The first launch on the PS4 and the older console was in December 2020. And it launched on the... Arey bhai sahab, sorry. And it launched on the newer generation in Feb 2022. Now, this game had a rocky start from the beginning. There were crashes, there were bugs. But over a period of time, CD Projekt Red has done a fantastic job in ironing most of those things out. And yeah, this game even received a massive 2.0 update, like I think a month back or so. Guys, I'm really bad at this. But yeah, koi baat nahi. And that patch came up with few enhancement in terms of graphics, in terms of it introduced a few new elements like you can shoot from inside the vehicle and few other patches and repairs. And I didn't play the older version, I played after the 2.0 patch, and this is easily like my top 5 best looking game of all time. The creative team has done a fantastic job with Night City. The world feels rich, the world feels lived in, and very honestly, if there ever was a cyberpunk universe in reality, I believe this is what it would look like. So hats off to the team. Now, so I told you I picked this game up after the 2.0 patch, but I played it for the first time a few months before that. I was so overwhelmed by this game that I actually parked it and started playing some other game. Because see, once you start this game, it throws a lot of concepts at you very quickly, and most of those concepts are unique to this game. So with this video, what I want to do is I would cover 3 very important aspects that you need to keep in mind when you're starting this game. And I believe those few tips is going to elevate your experience, and I won't say it's going to make it easy, but I think you'll have a very good experience if you focus on these few things very early on in the game. Otherwise, this game is going to become harder than it is, or harder than it needs to be, and that might kill the experience for some of you, which I really don't want, because anyone who enjoys these kind of open world games, this is one game which I highly recommend. It's an absolute must play. The storyline is really good, missions are good, the world design, as you can see, is insane. I mean, we are in the daytime right now. Let me quickly skip time. It looks even more beautiful at night. Hold on, and this is very easy to do, this skip time thing. I love this setup. Yep. So yeah, so let's quickly get into the video. The 3 main aspects which I want to cover is number 1, Cyberware, Quickhacks, and perks and attributes. So I think we have done enough driving around. Let's quickly get into the character menu and let's go over each of those things one by one, right? So yeah, so this is how your menu looks like. I'm at level 42, street cred is 50. And so the 3 things that we are going to talk about is Cyberware, Quickhacks, and attributes. So first, let's get into Cyberware. So in the world of Cyberpunk 2077, cybernetic implants are like a very common thing. Your character is going to have a lot of implants, your enemies are going to have implants, and that's how it is. Now, the 2 broad things which you need to understand is, first, on the left hand side, which is your cyberware capacity, and then the armor on the right hand side. So initially, before the 2.0 launch, 2.0 update, armor was also affected by the clothes that you would have equipped, but now that has mostly been removed from the wardrobe and it has completely moved to the cyberware section. And your cyberware capacity is the amount of cyberware that you can install at any given point of time, right? As it says, like, this indicates the amount of cyberware your body can handle. Now, this limitation is going to keep increasing as you progress through the game, as you level up, as you pick up shards. And there is one more perk which is going to increase the capacity. We'll talk about it when we get into the perks. But yeah, so even with all the money in the world, you can only have cyberware. जितना तुम्हारा कैपेसिटी अनलॉक्ड है उतना ही साइबरवेयर यू कैन इंस्टॉल. सो आई हैव 182 अवेलेबल एंड आई एम ऑलरेडी एट 182 साइबर कैपेसिटी. So even if I have an additional slot, as you can see here, I can't really install shit because it's then going to increase my cyberware capacity and it's not going to allow me to install. Right now, when you start this game, the moment you come into this cyberware screen, it's going to feel very overwhelming. You will feel that there are a lot of things and it's going to take a while to get into this. So if you see, your cyberware is divided into various sections. Now if you hover over each of them, it will tell you what it does. So your frontal cortex improves quick hack, decreases cooldown. We'll get into quick hack now. Then your arms do something, it's melee weapon related. Skeleton is armor, nervous system is your time slowing effects and detection, and so on and so forth. So you can focus on certain cyberware depending on how you are approaching the game, whether you are going netrunner heavy or quick hack heavy, or you're going melee heavy. Depending on how you are approaching the game, you can have cyberware installed. Now one thing, few things in cyberware which I would absolutely recommend, which is a must have, is first of all a good operating system. Right now your operating system is going to so there are various operating systems that you're going to come across. You can install them. What it's going to do is, first it's going to have increase your RAM capacity. It's going to let you install Quickhacks, and this is going to cost you your cyberware capacity also. So first you get a good operating system, and then once we get into the Quickhacks, we'll get deeper into operating system and how to install Quickhacks and how to manage your RAM and all those things. But yeah, get a good operating system, whatever you can afford. And then the first two things, right, which you absolutely need to have is, first, go to legs and get reinforced tendons. I don't remember how much it costs early on in the game, but try to get that much money as soon as possible and get this cyberware equipped quickly, because what this does is this allows you to do double jump in mid-air, and this is the only way to do it. I'm sure you must have seen a lot of videos where people are double jumping, and it actually, it's very helpful in terms of climbing and traversal, and this is an absolute must have. So get this as soon as possible, whenever you can afford it, just get this thing. And then in frontal cortex, there are two things which you need to do: X-disc and self-ice. Now I will not get into these two attributes, these two cyberware right now, because for that I'll have to cover quick hacks for you guys. But yeah, just keep in mind X-disc and self-ice under frontal cortex, and legs under reinforced tendons under legs. These are absolute must-haves. Get these as soon as you can. Get a good operating system, and that's how you manage your cyberware. Now armor efficacy, as you can see, I'm at level 506. Two cyberware that are going to contribute most towards your armor is, first of all, skeleton, and then is your integumentary system. So how much you spend on these is going to decide how much armor you're going to have. So I have these three cyberware already installed, and as you can see, like, I'm at 506, so 114 armor is just universal booster, bearing joint is 105, so out of 500, 200 is just these two, right? Titanium bone is 34. Then you go to IG system, counter shell is 57, subdermal armor is 41, legs also contribute to 36 armor. So, but your skeleton and integumentary system are the ones that are going to heavily influence how much armor you're going to carry. So this is what I wanted to cover briefly about cyberware. See, the other things you'll figure out as you go along, right? But just these basic things, like having a good OS and X-disc and self-ice in frontal cortex and reinforced tendons, just get these as soon as you can. And it's going to drastically change your experience and the way you move around in the game. and this is absolutely essential, right? Now coming to how you can get cyberware, let's go to map and let's go to service points. So yeah, so you can install and upgrade your cyberware at Ripper Dock. Now these Ripper Docks are located across the city. Go to any one of them and pay money, select the cyberware, get it installed, get them upgraded, and that's it. Yeah. So that is pretty much what I wanted to cover about cyberware. Now let's get into Quickhack. And Quickhack and cyberware and attributes, everything is going to be related. So next concept which I wanted to cover was Quickhacks. So Quickhacks, if I explain this in a simple manner, it's just a bunch of hacks that you can upload onto your enemy cyberware. So it's not just you who has cyberware, your enemies are also going to have cyberware. And Quickhack is going to allow you to mess with those cyberware. There are various things that you can do. And then it's also going to allow you is to get access to surveillance cameras. It's going to allow you to get access to the enemy turrets, so you can turn those turrets against those enemies. You can get access to the surveillance camera, you can access the feeds, you can turn them off, and you can do all of those things through Quickhack. Now, three most important thing in Quickhack which you need to understand is, and which you need to focus on to get good at Quickhack is, number one, more RAM. Get as much RAM as you can, right? The Quickhack upload speed has to be as fast as possible. So any perk, any cyberware, if it increases your speed of uploading the Quickhack, get them as soon as you can. And then the RAM recovery rate, right? Now Quickhack, let me just quickly get into this, and you are going to install the Quickhack into the operating system. Now first I want to talk about RAM, right? So your cyberware, as you can see, the second icon on the cyberware which says 13, that's your RAM capacity which your OS allows you to have. Every time you use a Quickhack, it utilizes a certain amount of RAM that you have. Now if you see that my RAM capacity from my operating system is 13, but my overall RAM capacity is 29. I'll just show you. Let me just find some enemies if I can. I don't know if I can. No. There's a cop going over there. So now if you see, my Cybertech RAM on the top is 29. So my operating system says 13, but I have 29 RAM. Now apart from your Cybertech, there are few more ways that you can increase your RAM. First is your frontal cortex. Now the reason why I told you to get X disk and self ice as soon as possible is, if you see your X disk, one of the attributes is it increases your RAM capacity by 5. So even your OS has 13 RAM, you install X disk and your RAM now goes to 18, right? Similarly with self ice, it increases your RAM by 2 more. And there is one more perk, Camilo RAM Manager, it again increases your RAM by 2. Similarly, there are few more perks which will allow you to have additional RAM, and you will find those under intelligence. Intelligence or technical ability, I'm not sure. We will cover that when we get into the attribute part, right? So this is why frontal cortex is important. So your X disk and your self ice, these two cyberware are going to increase your RAM capacity, which will essentially allow you to have more Quickhacks, and have Quickhacks which cost a lot of RAM, right? So if you see here on the left hand side, these are the Quickhacks which I have installed onto my operating system, which you can, abhi to it's on a cop, but you can upload them on your enemies, and each of these things, they do something, and the description is going to be there on the right hand side. The two most absolute important Quickhack, or three important Quickhack which I highly recommend that you have as soon as possible is, first of all, cyberware malfunction. This is very helpful in times of combat. What it will do is it will malfunction the cyberware that your enemy is having, And the next is weapon glitch. It will lock their weapons and it will malfunction their weapons, which is again very helpful. And third, I won't say it's absolutely essential, because as you can see, this suicide utilizes a lot of your RAM. It utilizes 24 RAM per quick hack. But what it does is it sort of makes your enemy kill themselves. I mean, I know it's very dark, but it's helpful. It can be fun depending on what's your definition of fun. So these 3 quick hack I would highly recommend. भाई इसको लग गए वे गाड़ी के तो चलो कोई नहीं. So if you go into the operating system, you can check out what quick hacks I have installed. I have cyber psychosis, I have suicide, contagion, synapse burnout, ping, cyberware malfunction, weapon glitch, and this is where you install these quick hacks onto the operating system. So get a good operating system which has a higher RAM capacity, and then start uploading these quick hacks. You can mix and match depending on your playing style, but again, weapon glitch and cyberware malfunction, just get these 2 as quickly as possible. These are going to be absolutely helpful, right? And you're going to enjoy using these. So yeah, so this covers the part about RAM. I hope I have given you a decent understanding of how RAM works. Now, I told you there are 3 important things to keep in mind regarding quick hack. First is more RAM. Second is faster uploads. So every time you try to quick hack somebody, right, the upload of that quick hack is going to take some time. Should I try on this cop यार, फिर वो पीछे पड़ जाएंगे. Let me find somebody. The cop here. चल ठीक है, let me try something untraceable. Ping, ठीक है. So ping is not traceable. So now I want to use a quick hack called ping on him, right? I execute, and if you see, yeah, so that's how it works. There's a small box that appears and it shows the progression of the quick hack. Now as you can see, this is very quick. That happened very quickly. But when you start the game, it's not going to be as quick. It's going to take a while. It's going to be slow. So what you would want to do is get your upload speeds as low as possible. Just get fastest upload possible. Now the way to do it is through again your cyberware, of course. So you go to your cyberware and frontal cortex. Again we are back to frontal cortex, which is why I kept saying that this frontal cortex is very important. Now if you see X disk, we covered earlier that it increases your RAM capacity by 5, but what it also does is it increases the upload speed by 11%. So this is important. Then what you can do is, there are certain perks that are also going to increase your upload speed. So as soon as you see any of those perks which are going to increase it, just get them, right? And then in your inventory there is going to be one item which is InfoVisor. You can find it across the city. You either get to loot it from somebody, or you can, I think you can buy it. I've not bought it, so I don't know if it's available to purchase in the world anywhere. I found both of these, right? So if you can see, this InfoVisor is going to 10% quick hack upload time reduction. So this is again going to further increase your upload time. So anything that you can find in cyberware and perks that increases your speed of quick hack upload, get them. And then it's faster recovery. So faster recovery, there are few perks that help in RAM recovery, because every time you deploy a quick hack, it's going to use a certain amount of your RAM. Now you would want your RAM to recover quickly, so you can use quick hacks again and again. There are few perks under intelligence attribute that helps in faster recovery. We'll cover that when we cover attributes. So yeah, so this is what I wanted to cover with respect to quick hack. Your again, just summarizing: more RAM, faster upload speeds, and faster recovery rate, right? So now I wanted to move into the attribute and perk points. So this is how the skill tree looks like. It's not the skill tree is somewhat different. So what they have done is, they have bifurcated all the skills into these 5 core attributes, which is body, reflex, technical ability, intelligence, and cool. Now if you hover over each of them, it will tell you what it does. Body is your raw physical power and fortitude. Reflex is maneuverability, technical ability, cool, and so on. So it gives you a description of what it does. Now what you need to do is, depending on how you want to approach this game, whether you want to go full quick hack, net runner, edge runner kind of thing, or whether you want to do melee, more of melee weapons, or you want to like go guns blazing every time. Depending on how you are approaching this game, you would want to spend your attribute points accordingly on the respective attributes, right? So, and every attribute is then going to have skills under it which correspond to that particular attribute. Now coming to the skill as well, right? Now all the skill under one attribute is not going to be available at the same time. Now if I go into cool, which is one of my lowest level, so as you can see there are 4 levels of skill within each of these attributes. I opened cool, but it's the same for all, right? So the first level is rookie. This is going to be available to you from the start. The next level is pro. Now pro is going to be unlocked when you reach an attribute level 9. So the moment you reach level 9 in any particular attribute, you're going to get this second row of skills available to purchase. The next level is Phenom, which gets unlocked at level 15. Since I'm not at level 15, I don't have it unlocked. If I go into technical ability, you can see that I have this unlocked because I have focused a lot on technical ability, and I'll get into the reason very shortly, right? So Phenom will come at level 15 and last legend will come at level 20. So which is why these, you need to strategize how you want to spend your attribute points depending on how you want, what's your approach towards the gameplay and what sort of perks you would want. What I did was I focused most on technical ability and then I focused most on body and intelligence. And I feel that these 3 attributes are the most important ones. And if you plan your attributes properly, if you spend more attribute points on these 3, you're going to get some perks which are going to be really, really helpful and it will greatly elevate your experience with respect to this game. Now let's get into few of the perks and attributes, or sort of the attributes which are perks that I wanted to talk about, which I feel are like absolutely essential, and just get them as soon as possible, right? So first let's get into reflex. Now under reflex there is one perk called dash. Now if you see, there are some perks where there is a number at the bottom. It says 2 by 2 and then 1 by 1. So what this essentially means is you will need to spend 2 perk points on this to reach level 2. I mean, you can unlock it with 1 perk point, but then you'll be at level 1. You'll need to spend 1 more point and you'll reach level 2. Now what level 2 in this particular skill is going to do is it's going to give you an ability to dash, which is, as you can see in the small window over there, this is a really, really cool perk to have, and this is, again, it's going to make dodging very easy, and this is an absolute must have. So get this perk as soon as you can, right? Yeah. So after dash, now there is one more perk in the reflex that I want to talk about. I don't have it unlocked because that's not my approach to this game, but if you're going to go ahead with blades and katanas, this is something that you need to absolutely get. Again, this is where you need to reach level 2 and you have to spend 2 perk points. What level 2 is going to give you is essentially going to give you the ability to block bullets using your katana, which is, as you can see, it looks really cool. And again, if you're going with blades and katanas, get this perk as soon as possible. So under reflexes, these 2 are my recommendation. Get dash as quickly as possible and then get lead and steel as quickly as possible, right? Now there is one more cool perk to have which I haven't unlocked so far. It's air dash. Now air dash, now this normal dash, it doesn't allow you to dash when you're jumping, when you're mid-air, but air dash is going to allow you to do that. So if your gameplay is going to focus heavily on reflexes, this is also one of the perks that you would want to get. I haven't unlocked it, and see, if you can see, if you see my skill tree or perk level, you see that I haven't unlocked a lot of the perks, right? But to be honest, this has been more than enough to get me comfortably through the game. I never felt underpowered. Again, I'm at normal difficulty, I understand, but still, the perks that I've unlocked so far has been more than enough to get me through the game, and quite comfortably with a challenging combat at times. Which is why I thought, this is good enough, man, to at least cover the story and to at least finish the game. And which is why I'm just covering the absolute essential perks which you should have. बाकी तो यार मतलब खेल रहे हो तो फिर तो तुम सभी अनलॉक करोगे या चाहे सभी बैठ के अनलॉक कर लो, बट लेट्स जस्ट कवर द बेसिक वंस. So we have covered reflexes. I wanted to cover a few similar perks under technical ability. So under technical ability, the first one that I want to talk about is license to chrome. Now this goes all the way up to level 3, and you would want to go to level 3. So your level 2 is going to increase your armor by 40, and your level 3 is going to give you a new slot for skeleton. Now what it means is early on in the game, your skeleton cyberware will only have 2 slots. It will not have a third slot, which is why you absolutely need this perk to get a third slot. Right now, after license to chrome, the next one is ambidextrous. This will do is, again, it will give you a new cyberware slot for your hands. Similar to skeleton, your hands will have only 1 slot when you start the game. If you don't have this perk, you're going to stay with 1 slot. So get these 2 perks quickly so that you have 1 additional slot in both skeleton and hand, because if you remember, skeleton is going to heavily influence your armor, so you would want all those 3 slots at your disposal. Right now these 2 are again must have, and the reason why I have spent most of my attribute points on technical ability is to get at this particular perk, which is edge runner. So if you see the description, edge runner is going to allow you to exceed your cyberware capacity by 50 points, but it will cost you 0.5% max health per point, which is fine, but at least it will allow you to increase your cyberware capacity by up to 50 points. So what that will, if I have that perk, it will unlock 50 more points on my cyberware, and I can have more cyberware installed, which I cannot, which is why I was actually trying to get to this perk as quickly as possible, but tab tak I finished the storyline, so it's okay. So it's not like this is, again, matlab, see, if you see, even with the kind of perks that I have unlocked, it's more than enough to finish the game. But again, these few things are like an icing on the cake. It's good to have them. Now after technical ability, let's move. Why does my Wi-Fi has no internet access? क्या हो गया? कुछ भी. Now under cool, there is one perk called focus. Now see here, I have been a desktop and a laptop gamer most of my life. I recently moved to console, and I'll be very honest, I have no shame in admitting that I find aiming in consoles very difficult. I'm still trying to get the hang of it, and which is why if you are also like me who has recently moved to console gaming, I would highly recommend getting this perk called focus. It will activate, it actually, it's sort of like a bullet time thing, right? It will slow down once you aim, and it's slightly helpful. So get this. Then moving on to intelligence. Now if you remember, when we were talking about Quickhacks and we were talking about faster RAM recovery, so the perks that are going to help you in recovering your RAM faster are all located under intelligence. So one of those is optimization. If you can see here, it will increase your RAM recovery rate by 35%. So again, along the lines of the quick hack optimization that we were talking about, how to get really good at quick hack, get this perk as quickly as possible. It's going to increase your RAM recovery rate. And then there is one more called 4-skill cipher. Now see, this is related to hacking. You get access point and enemy computers scattered around and you can hack them. Now hacking is the process of hacking is very, very complicated. Maybe I'll cover it in a different video, but this will help you in hacking. It will reduce the sequence length by 1 point, which is actually going to be helpful. So intelligence में these two things are important. Baki see, if you just browse through intelligence now, most of those things are related to RAM. Reduces RAM cost the closer you are to the target. It reduces traceability by 30%. So I'm not sure if you guys noticed when I initiated a quick hack. Let me just try and do it again if I can on somebody. Now you can't do it on resident. You can either do it on enemies or you can do it on cops. And you see this, right? How I'm dashing around. This is very helpful. Okay, copy. Yeah. So if you see, most of these quick hacks, right, on the left hand side, it says ready and then it says traceable. What that means is once you initiate the quick hack, an enemy edge runner can trace the quick hack and it can trace your location. So what that perk is going to allow you to do, the one that we were talking about, is it's going to actually reduce the traceability by 30% and 100% duration, full length enemy. Okay, so matlab all the perks that are there in intelligence, right, it's all related to RAM. Abhi see again, embedded exploit is again, it increases your RAM recovery rate by 10%, and level 2 is it increases your quick hack damage by 60%. So absolutely essential embedded exploit. Yeah. Baki ठीक है यार, बाकी you guys will also figure out once you are playing, and you know you choose your perk on depending on how you want to play the game. But I just wanted to cover the ones which are absolutely essential. You get these perks, you figure out quick hack the way I've told you, you figure out, you get those cyberware that I've talked about, and you're going to have a really enjoyable experience playing this. Right? There's no point making a game harder than it actually is. And that's what's pretty much it. Yeah, that was the whole intent behind this video. I am not sure whether I've done a so I don't know if I've done a good job. I don't know if this has been helpful, that I've been able to explain it properly. To be very honest, this is the first video where I'm actually talking to you guys, and this is one bridge that I've been reluctant to cross for a long time. But ठीक है, करना तो है ही, and you know this is how you get better, by doing it and not just by procrastinating or thinking about कैसे होगा. So I thought कि ठीक है करते हैं. I'll review this video afterwards, and अगर upload करने लायक हुआ तो करते हैं. If anyone's watching it, if this has been helpful to anybody, just let me know in the comments. And the plan with this channel is to have more such videos. I am also planning to have a walkthrough of Spider-Man 2, which I'll be starting in a day or two, and we'll just cover main storyline, main missions, and yeah, so walkthroughs, these kind of informative videos to the best of my ability. This is what the plan is with this channel. It's going to be a long road, but it's okay. We'll get there. कोई टेंशन नहीं है भाई. So if you're still watching this video, and I think it's going to be pretty long, I've been talking for like 20-25 minutes, but if you're still watching, any inputs would be welcome. बस थोड़ा आराम से यार, मतलब ऐसे एकदम से डिस्करेज मत कर देना एक ही बार में. That's pretty much it, guys. Please do play Cyberpunk whenever you get a chance. Do not miss out on this game, and try to be a better driver than I am. So that's it, man. That pretty much covers everything that I wanted to cover in this video. So until next time. अबे गिरा दिए दोस्तों.